another 2-game video. You just love to see it. You know, I can buzz through these in no time now. So let's get into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Recaps for Chirpin DMV. My name's Ben, your source for all things Washington Capitals hockey. Now, this is week 23, kind of. You know how I am. I think it's week 23. And like I said off the rip, 2 games, that's easy. It's Friday. I would love to just buzz through this so I can get my drink on. So let's just dive into it. So obviously the Capitals had not been playing too great, and they knew that. So they had a couple players only, closed door players only meetings, and I actually love this. At this point in the season, they're basically locked into a playoff spot. Some teams just get comfortable, but Washington's recognizing that they're not playing great and doing something about it, like this late in the season. I actually love that. I think that's good that they're assessing what's wrong, because they're not trying to get out in 5 games like they have the last 2 years. They know there's a problem, they're addressing it. So I actually love the closed door meeting. I know it's like an alert that they're playing bad, but still they recognize it. That's a big part of it. So I'm pumped for that. Now, of course, I'm saying all this, but that happened after this first game. So let's get into the Minnesota game. We got TVR and Nick Dowd back in the lineup. Nice to see it getting a little bit healthy. And Johan Larsson making his debut. Capitals picked him up at the trade deadline, if you forgot, from Arizona. This meant that Connor McMichael was scratched. People were fuming online about this. Saw a lot of people saying GMBM should be looked if they don't do anything in the playoffs. His job's on the line, and so is Laviolette's. Pardon? Laviolette's job's on the line? Are you kidding me? This guy had the most banged up roster to start the season. He was playing rookies that should not have been on the team. McMichael's one of them. And they were first in the league up until 2022. No, Laviolette shouldn't be fired just because he took a rookie out of the lineup. That makes no sense. McMichael's decent. He's not great yet, so he can be scratched. I know people are hating on Eller. Hate on him all you want. Him and Eller aren't too different right now. Like, they're not doing anything exceptional. Eller's not having his best season, even I could recognize that, but still he's a guy they know can play playoff hockey and everything like that. McMichael, Bobcat said it on the podcast, are you going to trust McMichael out there if Backstrom gets kicked out of a draw? Are you going to trust him in the final 2 minutes? No, you're not. Neither is Laviolette, and it makes sense. So McMichael can sit some games. It's not the end of the world. We got VTech in net for this one, and I've been pumping VTech's tires about how he's like becoming the guy. He doesn't want to be, it seems like, because in this game they got lit up again. They played Carolina last game, got lit up like 7-1 or 6-1 or whatever stupid score it was. This one they lost 5-1 to Minnesota. There's honestly not many bright spots to talk about this game. Minnesota scored early, then they scored again, and then the Capitals' only goal was an OV shot that went off of Garnet Hathaway's foot, and then Cam Talbot played good, so credit where it's due there. Well, Minnesota played good. They were shutting them down completely in the middle. They couldn't get anything going through the middle, so that's always tough to score when you can't access the net. That's what you like to see Washington doing, and they didn't here. Not to mention the Capitals took too many men penalties in this game. I don't know if I've ever seen that, and that's another reason people are like, fire Laviolette. Okay, couple too many men penalties. See ya. You're on the hot seat. Like, no, it's not a good look, but I mean that's also players' fault. I saw that one of them misheard or didn't hear that his line was up or something. Yeah, this was a tough game, and that led to the players only meeting that I talked about. I'm stupid and didn't read and thought that these 2 games happened after the players only meeting. That's why I started with that, but no, it was after this Minnesota game, and that makes sense because they got outscored 11-2 in their last 2 games, and they needed to talk about it like big time, and they did, so that's good. So anyways, put that game behind you. It was bad. It was a bad game. I'm not going to make any excuses. I know I'm like the positive guy, like, well, you know, it's the NHL, it's hard. No, this was a tough game that shouldn't have been as bad as it was. Capitals get some more days off, and then they get the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are also struggling lately, but are still the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have won back-to-back Stanley Cups. So this is a good test. This is basically exactly what you need. I think TJ Oshie said that he wouldn't want to play because they have like just playoff teams for the next few games. He wouldn't want to play any other teams. I agree with that because they're basically locked in to play Florida now. So it's like any team you're playing is probably going to be better than you or is going to be better than you in the standings, and arguably just a better team than you. So you're going to have to figure out ways to win, and so now's the time. So they're playing Tampa Bay. They got Sammy in net for this one. That makes sense. VTech, they wrote him when he was hot. He's not hot anymore, so let's try Sammy out. Garnet Hathaway was a last-minute scratch with a non-COVID illness. This put McMichael back in the lineup so everyone could freak out and be happy again. And Laviolette gets to keep his job now. And then Eller got moved to 4th line wing. So Eller, people are going to be mad that I was talking about McMichael and Eller and like comparing them. Obviously, Eller's having a hard enough season that Laviolette is moving him to 4th line wing and putting McMichael there. I'm not saying McMichael's bad. I'm not saying him and Eller are like on the same plane right now. I know Eller's game has dipped. It's just, he's just a guy that you know who he is and you know how he can play playoff hockey. He's done it. He's won a cup, scored the cup winning goal. And I know that was like 4 years ago now, so it's a totally different player, and I get that, but it's just, that's how it works. You get guys that you trust, so they trust him. People may not like it. That's how it works. Anyways, playing Tampa Bay, struggling. Washington struggling. So both teams going into this. I bet on Washington. I had a good feeling about this one. That's why I'm a wizard and know hockey better than anybody.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And they got it started early. Marty Fehérváry, Connor Sherry chips the puck into the Tampa Bay zone. He could wait for someone else to go get it, but he decides, hey, I'm Connor goddamn Sherry. I'm going to go get it. Just what a signing. He goes in, collects the puck, turns, feeds it right out to John Carlson. John Carlson completely sells the shot. Like, he basically took an entire shot without moving the puck and then moved it over to Marty Party. He puts it in to get the Caps up 1-0 early. Then the Capitals get a power play, too many men penalty on Tampa Bay. Puck gets moved back to John Carlson. He shoots it. He snipes it in. It's 2-0. I'm obviously going crazy because it's John Carlson. I'm exploding on Twitter, letting everyone know how stupid they are for ever doubting him. And he's already got 2 points in the game, so I look like a genius. Then the Capitals have this play where like they just can't get the puck out, and then someone goes to reach for it while it's sliding toward the net. They just barely whiff on it, and then it lands on Kucherov's stick alone in front. So needless to say, they scored there. I'm not going to blame Sammy for that one because it was Kucherov alone in front. That one's got to get out of the zone. But then it looks like things are collapsing when Kucherov and Point come in on a 2-on-1, gets over to Kucherov, he shoots. Sammy makes a massive stick save, just like a huge save, not even really talked about enough, which is weird because it was a massive save. But then they score on the rebound because there's like a big scrum in front. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. But then I look and Kucherov just like grabbed the puck and threw it. Like, you can't do that. It's not handball, it's hockey. So hand pass, no goal, 2-1 is still the score. Then still in the first period here, by the way, this was a crazy first period. John Carlson's moving the puck up ice. He feeds it off to Ovi and just bursts through the D to go to the net. What a play. That's a smart play, taking guys with you, taking the focus off Ovi. Ovi goes to pass it through the middle. It gets stopped. It's like right on a stick or a skate of a Tampa Bay player. Ovi follows it up, rebounds it, bar south. Like, so hard. I couldn't even believe it. So Ovi scores. It's 3-1. He keeps climbing the ranks, obviously, but like, this goal was nuts. Like, the puck was stationary, like in traffic, like through people, and Ovi just follows it up and gets so much on this little snapshot. Right off the bar and down. Sick goal. Caps are up 3-1, like I said, and I am just jazzed because they're playing way better than they had in the past like 3-4 games maybe. They played really good here. John Carlson with another point, 3 points in the first period, forget about it. But then the Lightning come in and they're just like, they're not like, it's not a prime scoring opportunity. They get a shot from like outside the hash marks. There's D there, but they're not like blocking it because it's like, it's not really a threat. It goes in past Sammy. I think it was Nick Paul's first goal as a Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, if that's like Stammer, I'm giving him like, or Kucherov, like I'm giving Sammy a little bit of slack here. I'm cutting him some slack, but that goal can't go in. Like, that's really a bad look, and that's what's so tough about Sammy is he'll make those insane stick saves like that, but then he'll let that one in at a crucial moment when the Capitals just scored to get a 2-goal lead. Now it's a 1-goal lead, and confidence is everything in hockey, and now it's deflating because of that. Then I get all excited because John Carlson scores again, 4 points in one period. I'm going crazy, obviously. Me and AB are just like can you believe it? Like, we're just going nuts back and forth to each other on Twitter and stuff. We're just looking like the biggest fanboys of all time, and I don't care because like, I'm in love with this guy. That's his jersey right there. Stanley Cup Finals. He won a cup, #1 D-man, so yeah, shut up about him. Backstrom had to hold the puck on the zone entry while Wilson got onside. While doing that, as he was entering, John Carlson went a little offside, so the goal doesn't count, but that was devastating. Obviously, I wanted to be on John Carlson hat-trick watch, but I wasn't. However, Capitals still have the lead. John Carlson still playing phenomenal. And it's John Carlson again. There wouldn't be any goals scored until like 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period. Power play again, John Carlson from the point, snipes it again. This guy's shot is so underratedly good. Like, I know he won hardest shot a couple years ago. People just don't talk about it. His wrist shot is ridiculous. So John Carlson has a 4-point night in the second period. Could have had a hat trick. He technically scored 3 goals in this game, which is insane. Capitals regained the 2-goal lead. I'm like just on the moon at this point because all I get is John Carlson shit talk every day on Twitter. Even when they're not playing, it's a meme about John Carlson. It's like, guys, what do you want? Like, you have like a 70-point defenseman who is like above average defensively. Is that not enough? Are you not entertained? Like, is this Gladiator? Like, I don't know. Fan base pisses me off sometimes. No offense, guys. Thank you for watching. Then Tom Wilson gets bumped into by Ross Colton. It wasn't like dirty or anything. He just turned into him while he was skating up ice. He left the game for a little bit, but he did return, thankfully. Cannot have Tom Wilson missing. Then Tampa pulls their goalie with 5.5 minutes left. That is a confident move for sure. And it pays off briefly because they do get a power play and they do score to make it 4-3. And the shot was a complete bomb. And on this one too, Sammy, this one's a little harder to blame him for, but like there's a screen in front, but he had no idea where the puck was. Like no clue. Like he didn't know where the pass came from. He stuck his arm like straight out like this and the puck went like down here. He had no idea. And that's never a good sign when your starting goalie doesn't know where the puck is. And I know there was a screen, but like I just think a better goalie would have tracked the puck a little better. I don't know. I've never played goalie. That's just my view on things, being a guy sitting in his room talking about the game. But then Nick Jensen. This is a guy that Capitals Twitter pumps up all the time. And let me just say, I have no problem with Nick Jensen. He is actually phenomenal for being like a third pairing defenseman. He is an unreal player. Makes this disgusting pass to Tom Wilson. Just puts it into an area where he knows Wilson's going to get there first. Wilson does. Vasilevsky's charging out of his net to poke it. Wilson, perfect amount of reach to go backhand around him. Wide open net, but he gets tripped up by Vasilevsky. People were freaking out. Wilson didn't even know if it was like an automatic goal or a penalty shot. I didn't even know the rule. It was just a penalty, which was fine by me. So Willie doesn't score, but the Capitals do hold on and get the win 4-3 over the Tampa Bay Lightning in what was a must-win game. And I didn't even mention, I think it was Braden Point coming into the net. He goes to deke John Carlson on his stomach, sliding, diving play with his stick. He just did everything in this game. I saw Japers Rink, is that how it's pronounced? I don't even know how it's pronounced. What does that mean? What does that blog name mean, by the way? I don't know. They're a good blog. I just don't know what their name is. They showed like this was one of the best individual efforts by a defenseman of any team in the NHL all season long. John Carlson, 4 points, big defensive plays. He was just unreal. First star of the game, 100%. Also, I didn't talk about it when his goal didn't count in the first period, when Ovi was talking to Darren Pang in between the benches saying it should count and then waving at the camera. The guy's just a goofball and I love him so much. But anyways, the Capitals hold on, get the win over Tampa Bay, a must-win game. Sammy, he made some nice saves, like he was there when he needed to be, but he also let in some bad ones. So it's just like every game with Sammy, so 50-50, like you don't know how to feel about it. And that was it. Those were the 2 games. One was really bad, one was better, like a lot better, which was exactly what they needed against a better team who, granted, they've been struggling too. Tampa Bay, like I said, Minnesota has been hot lately, but it is the Tampa Bay Lightning and they're always a threat. But now it's crunch time for the Capitals. They got brutal schedule. Back-to-back games Saturday, Sunday. One's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard on Saturday against Pittsburgh, and then Sunday against Boston at 1:30 p.m. So less than 24 hours before games, and they're both playoff teams that are playing well. Well, there's your test, Washington. Have fun with that. Honestly, if you can get 4 points out of that, that's outstanding. If you can get 3, that's really good. 2 is even acceptable because that's a tough schedule. But you know, it's going to be a battle. This is what playoffs are. They know that. So, and people like complaining about like the matchups. They want like no one wants to play Florida in the first round, which I get. It doesn't matter. Every team they're playing is ahead of them in the standings. There's no ideal matchup for Washington, and if they want to win the cup, they have to go through the best teams anyway. So just focus on playing as absolutely hard as you can and trying to get through it because it's going to be tough as shit. Anyways, that'll be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Listen to the podcast. We finally dropped one after like a month talking about like the deadline deals and everything basically that I'm talking about here, the recent games, goalie struggles, McMichael, all of it. Episode 132, Chirpin DMV is available now, so check it out. Link will be in the description of the video and in the bio on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, so check that out. It's crunch time here, so this is the test. This is what separates the men from the boys. That's a Family Guy joke. But anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out.